any type of. I'm gonna let him explain it first, and then and it kind of because I don't want to use the wrong words.
Doctor tells us, hey, I got bad news to tell you. He show us his hands, his feet. He said he got Down syndrome. He's going to be a big challenge. I'm there with my mother, my father, and his mother. And his mother was like, yo, I can't do this. I'm going to have to give him up for adoption. And my mother was like, you crazy bitch. Like, you ain't giving up my fucking, like, and so we raised him. I never seen his mother again is what I'm trying to tell you is that.
So she
was born. Yeah, she never visited him again. I'm not here to kick and watch, you know, she abandoned a kid. Yeah. And so we raised him by ourselves. He don't know no other family. He don't know, it's not because we didn't allow that. His mom's just, you know, is crazy. She has never seen him again. And you know, and it wasn't like I kept the door closed where she can't see her son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was always available for her to see her son. But, you know, we got wicked people out there, whether man or female. You know, it's usually the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, baby come out Down syndrome, the man run away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shame on you. You know, father's got to be a father. I don't know how to be a fake father.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to be a fake father. So I got to take care of my kids regardless, and do everything I can for them. You know, I don't know how to give up on my kids. I don't know how to not love on my kids. That's impossible. And he's had his challenges, but you see, my son, I don't know if all kids that are autistic or on the spectrum, this guy's happy. I swear to God. He's always happy. He's never sad. He's like, if you're stuck in a place, he's stuck in happiness. Mm. And he's never slept 1 minute of his life without somebody sitting there just looking at him. He doesn't sleep without one person, without someone sitting there looking at him like this his whole life. And he's happy. He does what he wants. He gets what he's.
So I just wanted to play that clip because, I mean, he absolutely right. And it kind of leading into what I originally said when I started this episode, because even my hats was off to Jason Tatum and Jimmy Butler. And now, of course, nothing is wrong with their kids. Their kids is completely fine. But both of them are literally on Netflix being single fathers, raising their kids dolo. I mean, of course, they rich and they can afford it. Same thing with Fat Joe. You can afford nannies and whatever other extra help you need. But it's still just so extreme. And it's so like, wow, you really don't see single fathers really, especially with that type of load. And I'm sure, I mean, I don't necessarily, I think Fat Joe, I want to say this son is kind of older. Like, he may be in his 20s. I mean, of course, Fat Joe has been Fat Joe since like the early 90s or late 80s. So it's kind of like he had motion and had a name for it. So I'm sure it wasn't as much of a struggle. But I can only, like you said, most of the time it probably will be a man giving up on their kid and just running away. I guess what's y'all thoughts about it, or have y'all ever even thought, like, I mean, especially because y'all parents, has that ever been something like y'all ever thought of in y'all mind? Like, is that a fear as a, like being a parent, like, hey, you know, like before your kid actually here, does that ever come across your mind?
I don't think so. No, not really. I don't think you really think about that.
For real?
Especially at a certain age, like when you have a kid and you're younger, like you don't think about that.
Okay, that
the
makes
older
sense.
you get, the more the complications might come in. So then you might consider it more. But I don't think that like me personally, I wouldn't walk away from it. But I think the older you get, you might think, as a woman, as a female, you think about it, but not younger.
What about you, Marcus?
No, I mean, I think just even having kids, or just, you know, that whole process, you hope that, you know, it come out a healthy child. So, but I don't think you really feed too much into the whole, well, what if he might come out? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want a healthy child. That's the logical thinking, you know, having a baby.
Yeah, but
like,
I know, I mean, of course, everybody wants a healthy child, but I mean, again, and maybe, like I said, just to me personally, maybe just because I'm a pessimistic person sometimes when it comes to just certain thought patterns, because it's kind of out of your hands realistically. And I'm sure the people who may be listening now who don't have no kids, I'm sure because I feel like you see it way more often now. So it's kind of crazy, because I'm sure, like, for Joe, this happened years ago. Like, this is not a young kid. Like, this was before. Yeah, think about him and his wife been married for sure like 20-something years. So I want to say his son is like 20-something years old. So I just can't only imagine, just like, damn, you sit here and have your kid, and especially if this is your first kid, that's kind of bugged out. Like,
a lot of responsibility right there.
So do y'all blame the woman for trying to kind of like bouncing on him?
No, I can't, because you don't know what she's going through. So I can't blame, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't now, if you just up and leave and you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what they're, you know, like how they feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this might be too much for me. This might stress me out.
I get that it may, but damn, that's kind of foul, dog. I'm not gonna lie. That to me is foul. It don't matter who do it, man or woman. But of course, as a man, hearing a woman do that just seems like even extremely more like, damn, that's kind of out of pocket, dog. Like, that's crazy to sit here. You give birth to a kid, and because it come out with some type of disform, it's just a little bit disformed, you just bounce. Like, hey, your kid got Down syndrome, and she like, well, we better get this up for adoption. I'm out of here. But like, that's crazy,
but that's
dog.
my question. Then where were they? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if let's say Fat Joe wasn't Fat Joe yet, so it's just like, damn, we about to struggle.
Let me go see how old his son was. Like, how old is Fat Joe's son? Let me just so we can kind of.
That's what I'm kind of wondering. You know, like, was it a stage where it's like, all right, damn, we barely making it now. And you talking about a kid with a problem? How we, you know, gonna find things to make.
I want to see how. I just want to see how old he is to kind of try to give it a better.
Yeah, because that's kind of. I mean, that's tough.
Nigga, he 33.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's it. Yeah, but that's it. Like I said, that's his first son. So you some nigga, but he was still Fat Joe though. Like Fat Joe first album came out, I want to say like in the late 80s.
Fat Joe?
Hell yeah. I swear, no, listen, yeah, because nigga, you gotta think about it. That twin, they redid that twin, they redid Deep Cover, Little Italy, that like, no, you think about it, you gotta think about Big Pun been dead since the 90s. So Fat Joe was already Fat Joe. Like, of course, he didn't have his extreme, super crazy hits already. But I'm gonna tell you when his first album came out, just so we can kind of give it just a time frame with everything. Fat Joe, his first album. Yeah, 1980. No, hold on, 1993. And his first album, songs that people probably that don't live in New York probably know, was 2001.
Yeah, so the child born in the 80s.
No, the child wasn't born in the 80s. That child was 33. No, nigga.
Oh, you said 33. Okay.
Yeah, so that son was born in the 90s. So he was already at least 2 albums in, almost close to having he was almost close to his first like real big debut album. Yeah, because he got that My Life song on there. Like, not like song, like, yeah, nah, dog. Yeah, he had Ludacris featured on that album, the 2001 album, and all that. Ja Rule, Ashanti. Yeah, What's Love? What's Love was in 2001. So it's just like, nah, dog, that's nasty work, dog. I'm not gonna hold you. That's insane for you to sit here in real life, just give your kid up and just roll. Like, I mean, and that's why I say I don't even want to just make it a mom thing, because I feel like it's just.
I mean, but that's my thing. It's just like, what are you going through? Like, oh, I'm too young to be raising 10 kids. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what people's mind frame is, and that's just like, let's just say, like, if you put it.
But so then, my question would be, shouldn't your mind frame already be there before having a kid?
No,
because you don't think about that, especially like you're young
and you don't know how to deal with it.
So give me an age that y'all feel like that y'all kind of would give her a pass. Like, how old do y'all think that she should have or she could have been for you to kind of be like, all right, I get it.
I'm not gonna say all right, I get it, but like I said, you're.
If she was young, let's if you put an age on, let's say she was like 16 or 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she wasn't, you know what I'm saying? How do you prepare?
Yeah, I don't know how old she was, but I don't think she was that damn young. Because nigga, Fat Joe was like in his 50s now, so I'm sure. Let's just say they was 20 something. Let's say both of them was maybe early 20s.
Yeah, that's still a lot of pressure to put on yourself too.
But I think his question is it bad to walk away?
Yeah, that's my question. Is the walk away part?
But that's my thing. If I don't know what you're going through, or let's say she might even have an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, she might have mental problems. You don't know. You don't know.
You don't want to judge people. All you can say is you can't even say what you would do in that situation because you're not in that situation.
Yeah.
She obviously probably did what was best for her.
But what I'm saying is, though, I mean, realistically, especially now, I think people, to me personally, this is something that I think about all the time. I always think about, like, damn, what would you do? Because you, like you said, but I'm older though. So I agree with what you said. If it happens, oh my God, this shit about to go to overtime. They about to blow me. But I do agree with what you're saying. If you wait until the later you wait, you kind of think more about life. You try to be a little bit more strategic on, especially if you're going to add that type of responsibility to your life. So it's kind of just like, I get what y'all saying, but it's still just like.
But nobody thinks like I had my first daughter at 21. Nobody's thinking, oh, Like, I'm not thinking about that.
But I'm sure at that time it wasn't even a popular thing, so it don't run through your mind
but
like
it
that.
still happens, and they tell you early in the pregnancy, like they run all these tests to make sure that the baby's going to be okay.
But have they been doing that even back then?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just like a new thing.
No, Down syndrome is not anything new. They tell you that it's a possibility, and they give you your
But
options.
I'm saying like now they can kind of pick it up way earlier, right? But that's why.
No, even then, even at that time, they could probably still say they might not be able to say it's going to happen. That's what it's going to be, but they could tell you that it's a possibility. So then at that point, you make a decision whether you want to keep the baby or not.
So.
Because it could be it's a possibility. It's not saying that it's going to happen, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, I'm not a woman, so I kind of feel like I don't have that. Y'all won't even have that option. But I'm just feeling like if I got that option already, and you telling me that's kind of like up in the air, I probably would just like.
Would you want to terminate the pregnancy? Because it could be
if I could, like if you can,
it could be a 50-50. Like, what if they're not? Like I said, it's not always 100%. So,
but then the question is, are you okay with risking it? Because you're absolutely right. It could be 50-50, but if I guess it's going to be on you and your partner. Do you feel like you and your partner are really built to be able to raise a special needs kid? That will be that to me. That's the only question. Like that will be like you have to have an honest question with yourself. Are you really okay? Are you willing? Are you ready to be able to give birth to a special needs child? Are you ready? Do y'all have the setup or the plan or the concept of how you're going to even be able to nurture this kid just like it's a regular kid? Or is there going to be some type of hiccup in the relationship now because we weren't ready for that?
It's like you got to be able to. I don't know. Like it's a tough decision. So, like I said, you can't judge her, but she did. I guess what she felt was good for her. So who are we to judge her?
I'm still gonna judge you because you was the moms, dog. Like that to me sound even crazier.
But that don't make no. I mean,
I ain't saying it make it no better, but nigga, but that's nuts.
No, I get it because you carried that child
for 9 months, and then you just be like, I'm gonna give it up for abortion. Like what?
I mean, she left it with the father to make sure the father. Like,
but you never came back. Like he said, she never came back to even check and see, like, hey, is this kid all right? Like, or nothing. You just literally would just like, you just let him just raise his kid.
But then sometimes do you feel it's right for you to come back into the situation? I haven't been there, so why even come back? Why?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because it's still a special needs kid. It ain't like you. It's not like I'm coming back and my kid is LeBron.
But that's what I'm saying. But if I wasn't there, how do I come back? How do I even reintroduce myself? If you left it, then you might as well just leave it for good. Man, there's no point in you trying to double back.
I hear you.
Now I feel like that's more fucked up. You double back because it's LeBron James and he
no, I feel like no. Listen, let's be clear. If it's LeBron, you're not gonna be able to double back. That's the point. But if it's a special needs kid, to me, it just kind of be like, damn, you never like not one time. You ain't never check in like, damn, all right, he turned 15. I gave his birth. Like, you never cared. Like, I'm gonna tell you how bad of like how much of a trash woman this woman is. Like, if you think about it, you talking about this happened in the 90s or early 2000s, dog. And then Fat Joe was still Fat Joe, and you still never even like, damn, let me try to see if I can even double back with him. I mean, sure, of course you couldn't because he's been married for 25 plus years. So, I mean, of course, obviously, I'm sure if you looking on the outside looking in, you see, all right, well, him and his wife is kind of happy together or whatever the case may be. But that's just, no, that's
his story. It's three sides to
a
a story.
That's true. That's why I say we don't know her
side and then the truth. So we don't know if she ever tried to come back. We going based off what he said.
Yeah, but listen, let's be real. In this day and age, this is him going on Club Shay Shay. Of course, all the blogs picked it up. If she actually ever tried to come back, I'm 100% positive. In this day and age, she would have already been on social media.
How? We don't even know who she is.
The same way we don't never know who none of these people be, and then we just randomly, mysteriously find out who they are or who they was attached to a week later when we kind of just be like, damn, how did y'all even find this person? Like, think about it. Think about Simone Biles' mother.
That's true.
How the fuck they find her? Just mysterious. That's what I'm saying. So I'm 100%.
So you think this might bring her out the dead?
Hell no, because if you really ain't came and checked in your kid in 33 years, you ain't popping back out to say, what you gonna say?
I'm not coming.
Somebody
out.
want to tell their side of the story.
Nigga,
Right.
tell your
I'm
side of the
not-
story so niggas can drag you to hell.
I mean,
Man, nigga, please. Ain't nobody coming.
Unless I got receipts to say that I
Yeah,
came
that-
back,
that-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why
Ah,
did
but
try?
listen
He
to him.
tried to-
I'm 100% positive she didn't. Fat Joe, especially because I feel like the perfect time would have been when during the pandemic when Fat Joe was like, today's price ain't ain't tomorrow's price or whatever that little saying he came when he came with that. If you wanted to come back in Fat Joe life or try to check him on anything, the perfect time would have been then, but not now. Like nothing after that. Like, come on, dog.